I come from Malankara Syrian Indian Orthodox tradition, which is quite a very specific Eastern Orthodox tradition. And it's not just like a weekly ritual of going to church that was there every day. We would have made some time for prayers and Bible reading and songs and all kinds of things in an Indian Orthodox church. Then that is something that never even gets talked about. So one thing that Indians are exceptionally good at is just ignoring things that they just don't want to talk about. And yeah, gay Christian as an oxymoron is something that, but there's literally like 6 verses in the entire Bible that people just keep using against homosexuality. And almost silly that those are the kind of things that people actually focus on. Indian Christian upbringing, what many people tend to do is that they would eventually just make peace with the fact that they are just going to like get married through an arranged marriage and raise some kids, and that's just going to be their life, and for a large extent that's what I thought my life was going to be. And thankfully, like, the gaydar of all of those girls was spot on. Like, every single one of them just kept rejecting me. Have, yeah, just told like very few people in my family, my aunt, my mom. To my sisters, I came out maybe 3 years after I initially came out to my mom. And even their reaction wasn't that great because they were worried about their daughters not possibly getting alliances because the uncle is gay. Um, but I think that's just something that, we always forget. Like, if you're gay, you're constantly having to keep coming out, to various people one at a time. And each time, like, you may get a bit of strength from having done it a number of times, but I think it still is challenging. And for me, what I am trying to do is almost just do the same thing as just coming out as a gay Christian, or a person of any faith, and being gay and realizing that these are not mutually exclusive. So I was in London for like nearly 10 plus years, and I was struggling, even though I had made peace with a lot of various elements of my identity. I'd come out to my friends. I still didn't feel that like I really belonged anywhere. And something that did change was I came across a gay friendly church. I didn't even realize that those churches existed, but that's literally like 2 minutes away from where I live today. The essence of Christianity is just, it's just love. That you're just meant to like love everyone and everything despite all of their shortcomings or just the way they are. I had also found like a gay church, but even that somehow felt, you know, lacking in some stages. So that's why I just happened to stumble across the LGMC, which to me was just a brilliant way of being a part, a healthy way of being part of the gay community. To me, the biggest thing that's come out of this, it's almost like I've made not just friends, but almost like brothers, as we say, I think the expression is we are a band of brothers and a circle of sisters. Somewhere deep down, there's this instinct to just survive, isn't it? And I think that was what would have kept me going. So for me, even as a child, I would have known who I was. I would have known what my core identity is. And all it was is like I just could not talk to people about it. And to me, that was fine because it was almost like we know what the truth is, we just can't talk about the truth. And today the only distinction is that I actually can, yeah, just call it for what it is. I know that there are many people, maybe not just Christians, but also like in the Hindu, Muslim, so many communities in UK where they're struggling to have the support networks that maybe I know that I have through my local churches. And the church that I am closely associated with, they also march at Pride and they tell sorry for the things that the institution of the church may have done to families, lives that have been lost.